Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Thank you to the Cafe of the Gate of Salvation Choir for that beautiful rendition. And thank you to all who have brought candles tonight, because, you know, light and warmth of candles have traditionally been the way that we do remind ourselves that hope continues through all sorts of dark and hard times that we haven't anticipated. We now invite the dignitaries who represent the local community, the state and the whole nation to take to the stage and to light their candles. The lighting will be accompanied on didgeridoo by Walangurry. Leading the lighting is the Governor of New South Wales, Margaret Beazley. The Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese. Waverley Council, Paula Marcellos, the Leader of the State Opposition, Mark Speakman, and the Premier, Chris Minns. Welcome State Ministers Penny Sharp and Yasmin Catley. Wind is not helping. Can I welcome the Leader of the Federal Opposition, Peter Dutton. Federal and state members of Parliament will now light their candles. And finally, mayors of our local government areas. thank you very much to Walangurry for that fabulous didge playing to accompany the candlelighting. Thank you. Could I now welcome the Mayor of Waverley, Councillor Paula Massalos, who will say a few words on behalf of the Bondi community. Mayor.
Thank you, Geraldine. Tonight, we gather in the shadow of tragedy, our hearts heavy with grief and our souls burdened by sorrow. We come together not only to mourn, but to find solace in each other's presence, to seek comfort in our shared humanity, the strength and resilience of our community, and to reaffirm our commitment to healing and hope. I welcome Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Premier Chris Minns, invited guests and all of the community who are with us here tonight to commence this healing. I would like to acknowledge the Bidjigal, Birrabirragal and Gadigal people who traditionally occupied the Sydney coast and pay my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander elders past, present and emerging. On behalf of my fellow councillors and I offer my deepest condolences to the families of the innocent people who lost their lives in last weekend's brutal attack, and I wish those who were injured a speedy recovery. To the first responders and everyday heroes who rushed towards the danger without hesitation, risking their own lives to save others, we owe you a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. Your courage, your selflessness, and your unwavering commitment is a testament to the best of humanity, reminding that even at the most difficult of times, there exists boundless goodness in the hearts of ordinary people. Waverley is a special place. We are a strong, diverse, and resilient community. What happened here last weekend is just unfathomable. We all know people who were at Westfield at the time and have heard harrowing stories. We are all in mourning. It will take the families, friends, and the community much time to come to terms with the events that unfolded. But let me say this: our spirit must not and will not be diminished. Our country is a safe place to live. Waverley is a safe place. It's been touching to see people who don't know one another coming together in the mall, standing side by side and supporting each other. Please continue to hold your loved ones tight and raise each other up through understanding and acts of kindness. This is how we will respond to violence. This is how we will remain united, recover and rebuild together. As we stand here tonight, surrounded by candlelight and embraced by the warmth of our community, let us remember that even in the darkest of times, there shines a glimmer of light. A light born from the resilience of the human spirit, from the compassion that binds us together, and from the unwavering resolve to stand united in the face of adversity. Tonight, we pay our respects to the victims of this tragic event. You will never be forgotten, and Waverley Council will forever stand side by side with the families, those injured, and every single person in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Paula. I now invite the Premier of New South Wales, Chris Minns, to the stage to address us.
Friends, thank you for being here tonight on the land of the Bidjigal and the Gadigal people. I acknowledge the family and friends and loved ones of those killed in this attack and everyone who was injured or affected in Bondi Junction on the 13th of April. Thank you for allowing us to mourn with you this evening. Grief can be a terrible burden, but it doesn't have to be a lonely one. And there are millions of Australians that feel great sadness for your loss tonight, and they're in your corner in the days and weeks ahead. This week we saw a single bouquet left on Oxford Street grow into a sea of flowers. And here tonight we have a sea of people mourning your loss. Most of the people here have never had the chance to meet your loved ones. But in this terrible week, we've come to learn something of their characters, of the people and who they were. For all their differences, they seem familiar to us. They look like the Australia that we know. A young woman planning her big wedding day, enjoying young love. A new mum nursing her beautiful baby girl. A master's student having finished her final exam, trying on new clothes. A refugee travelling across the world for a better shot at life. An artist browsing shops, an architect out in Bondi with her family. What they all had in common were they were making plans. They were hopeful, optimistic people. They were looking to the future with excitement, focused on tomorrow. And one of the things we mourn tonight, one of the truly unforgivable things, is the loss of those tomorrows. These were people who made life bigger, who saw the possibilities around them. They had faith in the future, and it was taken from them. In normal times, Saturday afternoon is a golden hour when we have the freedom to be ourselves. In a city where you have to work incredibly hard Monday to Friday just to get by, Saturdays are a chance to do what we want with the people that we like in places we enjoy. Last week, that easy peace was shattered in Bondi Junction. And in that awful hour, our city was reminded that whoever we are, wherever we live, whatever we look like, we're all connected in this life. That's what we saw in Westfields, when a security guard fresh to this country on the first day on the job gave his life in defence of someone else. When a nurse asked to leave her place of safety because there were people outside who needed a hand. When a French tradie armed with a flimsy bollard faced down an attacker so other people could get away. And when Police Inspector Amy Scott heard the news of the danger and without immediate backup or any hesitation at all, ran towards violence. While I'm up here, I must say that we ask our emergency workers, many of whom are young, to walk into terrible situations as an ordinary part of their job. And notwithstanding the dangers of last week, if there was an emergency tomorrow, we'd ask them to do it all over again. The truth is we don't have a choice. We need them. The least we can do is say thank you and acknowledge, absolutely, that our police and our paramedics did their duty when they were called upon. They saved lives, and we owe them a huge debt of gratitude. Friends, these scenes have shaken all of us, but I want to send a specific message to the women of New South Wales tonight. We might not know the exact motives behind this attack. What we can say is that every Australian woman deserves to feel safe in her community. This is your state and your city. This is your home. You have every right to live your life as you choose, free from fear and violence. And we will not be a state where a woman is forced to change their behaviour because of the feelings or anger of other people. Friends, I know that there are unanswered questions out there, and there is understandable anger at what happened. But tonight we should not let that cloud our memory of your loved ones, because Saturday was not the story of their lives. We remember them at their happiest, living their life, doing what they loved, surrounded by the people they cared about. We remember their joy, patrolling Bronte Beach on a January morning, developing their artworks, raising families, experiencing young love, crossing the world with hope in their heart. That's how they deserve to be remembered, and that's how we honour them tonight. Bondi is known around the world for its glamour, and with a view this beautiful, it's easy for many people to think that you'd go soft. But Bondi is tough, and this is a strong community, and we will get through this because it's full of people who'll put their own lives in danger to rescue someone else, because we'll grieve for people in our community we've never met just because they're members of our community, and because despite it all, just like those who are gone, we are still excited and hopeful about tomorrow.
Thank you very much indeed, Premier, with those stories about Sydney, the lives of the people of Sydney, that I think have just been on such stark show in so many ways in this last week. I'd now like to invite the Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to add some words of his own.
We gather here in Bondi to grieve for all that has been stolen from us, all the possibility and potential, all the kindness and humanity, all the love and laughter of the 6 lives snatched away on that hardest of Saturday afternoons. We keep this vigil for them to honour all they were, to pay respect for all they meant. We mourn for all the years of joy they should have known, all the memories they should have had the chance to make, the new life they would have lived here in their new country, the success they would have achieved in whatever career they embraced, the happiness they would have created, the care they would have shown, the beautiful children they would have raised with such love. We gather here to remember them, our candles held against the darkness, and we offer the condolences of this community, our city, our state, and our entire nation to all who loved them the most. As we keep this vigil for the 6 souls we have lost, we keep a place in our heart for everyone affected, all those who were injured, all those caring for them, the people still in hospital and those taking the first steps on the hard road to recovery, survivors carrying the invisible scars of trauma and of fear. We think of Inspector Amy Scott, who ran towards danger, the security guards who made that same courageous choice, the first responders who acted with such speed and skill, and the everyday people who could never have imagined they would face such a moment, and yet when that sternest test arrived, their first instinct was to help others, at risk for themselves, people that they did not know. We think of everyone still trying to come to terms with a hole in their life where a loved one should be. To the families and friends who are here with us, and to all who are with us in spirit, please know this, that every Australian is thinking of you. We are with you as a community, as a country, today, tomorrow, and always. May those we have lost rest in eternal peace, forever in our hearts.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I'm now going to ask us to observe a minute's silence, and this brief interlude really is an opportunity for each of us to reflect and remember and to honour the lives that have been lost, and just to reflect all those sentiments that we've heard expressed so eloquently tonight. And not only to remember those no longer with us, but effectively also hold space for their loved ones, for the communities they were a part of, and the collective grief that weighs heavily on our hearts. And I think that's what's been so striking for a lot of us this week. let us also share a thought for those various brave and selfless individuals who did stand up to save the lives of so many others, as we've heard. So following the minute's silence, our choir will perform a rendition of Amazing Grace. So let us now reflect. Thank you so much for that beautiful performance of the John Newton hymn, first performed way back in 1779. Well, that concludes this evening's proceedings, and on behalf of the New South Wales Government and the Waverley Council, I do hope this vigil has provided an opportunity to find strength together tonight and some hope. And we know that the sun will rise over that beautiful beach tomorrow, and there will be new days ahead filled with kindness and as one. And I hope that's what tonight has represented. Could I ask, please, that you do take your candle home with you after the service? Now, guests wishing to leave a message of condolence, you can do so by scanning the QR code, which you'll see on the main screen and on signage around the area. Now, there are lots of support services here tonight if you would need them. We have counsellors, mental health first aiders available on site. You can also contact New South Wales Mental Health Line, Lifeline, Kids Helpline, Beyond Blue at any time. For people travelling by public transport, buses are departing from Campbell Parade to Bondi Junction, so please do follow the signs. Thank you to everyone who was here tonight. It brings the ceremony to a close. The formalities may be over, but please do feel very free to stay and to support each other. It will be wonderful to see. We now welcome back Bondi Brass, I'm delighted to say, for another performance, and thank you again for being here for this special event. Good night.